My name is Mackenzie Balderrama, and I'll be discussing anime and manga's impact on Japanese and Western civilization. In the last 30 years, the intake of Japanese pop culture and entertainment has vastly grown throughout the world, and especially in the Western United States. For example, the show Pokemon is currently airing in 124 countries worldwide today and is one of the most watched shows on popular streaming service Netflix. American-made animated shows, movies, and comics inspired by anime and manga include, but are not limited to, The Matrix, Blade Runner, The Powerpuff Girls, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ronin, and The Dirty Pair. While anime is considered a lifestyle in Japan, in America it is often looked down upon to partake in Japanese entertainment or traditional American cartoons. Some anime is more child-oriented, like the show Pokemon. However, many animes tend to deal with stronger themes not usually expressed in traditional American animation. Susan Napier said of films like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke that they cut across generational lines to be embraced by everyone from children to grandparents. In a sense, anime and manga have greatly influenced the genre of literature and the world as a whole by developing stories in a unique way and combating the import of westernized culture by directing more attention to Japan and Japanese literature in particular. Unlike American comics, manga is read right to left, top to bottom. Toba Ehan is generally considered to be one of the first manga during the Edo period. However, the actual use of the term manga did not come into common appearance until 1798 and into the early 19th century. Japanese animation began in the early 20th century, becoming well established by the 1930s. Three Tails was the first anime to be shown on television, first airing in 1960, while Otogai Manga Calendar was the first anime television series, airing from 1961 to 1964. Osamu Tezuka is known as the father of manga or god of manga. He created the well-known style of manga known and loved by millions today. Inspired by Disney, he blended this inspiration with traditional Japanese art to create this new manga style. One of Tezuka's most popular manga is Astro Boy. Following World War II, Tezuka was inspired to create manga that would cultivate happiness, hope, and love. However, in the late 1950s and 60s, he began to criticize Disney movies for their ideals and for being overly unrealistic. He believed that a tragic component has to be present in all comics in order for them to have a long-lasting effect on the viewers. Anime and manga have become ingrained in Japanese culture. In Japan, there are many landmarks and sites dedicated to anime, even featuring larger-than-life statues such as Gundam and Odaiba. Many companies even use characters in their advertising and packaging as well. Anime and manga can be a great way to learn more about traditional Japanese culture. Rakugo, a form of Japanese storytelling, shows up in Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, while shogi, a Japanese form of chess, is present in the show March Comes In Like a Lion. Anime also inspired the character Hatsune Miku, a 16-year-old cartoon pop star or Vocaloid. People actually attend her concerts as she performs live as a hologram, even though she is not a real person. The early 1990s became a sort of anime boom as anime and manga consumption increased exponentially, especially in the United States. People were so inspired by anime that they began to express more interest in Japan and Japanese culture as a whole, even going so far as to learn Japanese. This caused the creation of the Japanese language proficiency test in 1984. Anime's unique art style has inspired many American TV shows and movies, including Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, and Kim Possible, just to name a few. American artists implemented various techniques well known and recognizable as anime style, such as exaggerated facial expressions and chibi, or cute, small, stylized characters. Anime-inspired animation began with collaborations between American and Japanese studios, with one of the first notable attempts being a collaboration between Toei Animation from Japan and Videocraft from America for the making of the King Kong show in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The term anime is no longer being used just for Japanese-produced works. Some examples include Avatar: The Last Airbender and its sequel, The Legend of Korra, Voltron, Legendary Defender of the Universe, and the online show RWBY. Japan has actually replaced the United States as the world's largest exporter of comics and animation. Japan's anime industry grew to a record 19 billion sales in 2017. While domestic sales have gone down, overseas sales have tripled thanks to the likes of Netflix, Amazon, and Chinese streaming services. In summary, anime and manga have greatly influenced the genre of literature and the world as a whole by developing stories in a unique way and combating the import of westernized culture by directing more attention to Japan and Japanese literature in particular. While different than the ancient, traditional pieces of Japanese literature, they continue to express necessary themes in a new and unique way to a larger audience. Anime and manga have become an everyday part of life for the Japanese, represented in what they eat, watch, and buy. The whole of Japanese and Western culture and civilization will forever be changed by its influence.